are critical challenges that require the collaborative efforts of academics to come together, pull their resources together, and look at the situation and find a lasting solution in order to support the security apparatus of Nigeria to combat this problem of school abduction that is bedeviling our schools in Nigeria. My topic today is protecting the right to learn, school insecurity, and global academic cooperation. Nigeria got its independence in 1st October 1960. And the education system of Nigeria originated initially from indigenous education, where children learn trades and skills from their families, like hunting, farming, goldsmithing, and a number of other trades that have been practiced in Nigeria from time immemorial. Then the coming of Arabs paved way to Islamic education, where children were introduced and are still introduced to the learning of literacy, reading and writing, business, and a number of other sectors of human development. Then the coming of missionary and colonial masters into Nigeria in 1900 also introduced another different aspect of education that is regarded as Western education. And that has gained the support of Nigerian government from that period to date, which led to a number of policies developed in order to oversee the Western education in Nigeria. The recent practice or policy of education that has just been observed in Nigeria was the 6334 system of education, where a child is expected to spend 6 years in primary school, 3 years in junior primary school, 3 years in senior secondary school, and 4 years in the university. The current practice that we are right now practicing in Nigeria is the 934 system of education, where children are expected to spend 9 years in basic education, 3 years in senior secondary, and 4 years in university. There is also a structure that is put in place by Nigerian government to oversee educational activities in Nigeria under the umbrella of Federal Ministry of Education. And under that umbrella, there are a lot of agencies and parastatals that also oversee the educational activities in Nigeria, like Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, with branches in all over the states, 36 states of Nigeria, called SUBEB. We have NERDC, Nigerian University Commissions that oversee the university activities in Nigeria. We have NCCE and a number of other agencies. Looking at Nigerian education, we can say that the problems bedeviling Nigerian education is multidimensional, but our focus is on school insecurity this morning. Talking about school insecurity, we say it's a threat to safety of learners and teachers. And this threat can be in the form of kidnappings and terrorism. It can be in the form of banditry and violence, bullying and vandalism, and in some instances, infrastructure attacks. And all these insecurities that I have mentioned are happening in Nigeria in different forms. But the one that is now highly disturbing is the abduction of children from their schools. for ransom in most cases. And this problem leaves a number of other problems. One of it is that it leads to closure of our schools. And once schools are closed, it disrupts the educational flow of that school and community. It also leaves parents and students in trauma. Children who experience these abductions pass through a number of torture and they become traumatized. As a result, some of them drop out of school. Not only the victims, but even some of the students who witness those kind of violence are found to drop out of school in one instance or the other. So let's look at security situation in Nigeria. How secured are our schools? What are those policies put in place by Nigerian government to scare its schools? A study was carried out by UNICEF Nigeria, and the report I want to give here, which found out that only 48% of Nigerian public schools are fenced, and 52% of Nigerian public schools are without fencing at all. And then the study also found out that less than 10% of Nigerian schools have CCTV coverage. And all of these schools that have CCTV coverage are found only in urban areas. And from experience and reports, we know that these abductions mostly happen in rural areas. And the absence of CCTV coverage in rural areas now leave the schools in rural areas vulnerable to attacks. The study also found out that there is weak guard deployment. Most schools do not have security guards that put their eyes on the security of the school. And the study also discovered that in all the public schools in Nigeria, only 17% meet the minimum school safety standards. And the implication of all these problems is that there will be poor access to education. Because when children and their parents are afraid to go to school, when children are afraid to go to school and their parents are afraid to send their children to school, you find out that the enrollment will fall and children will not have that confidence to go to school. There will also be inequality as a result of gender differences, regional situation, because as it is now in Nigeria, the southern part of Nigeria is by far ahead of northern part of Nigeria when it comes to Western education. And then children with disability too may not be catered for adequately. And these problems can also lead to poor learning quality and weak infrastructure and teacher shortages. The consequences of all these challenges is that there will be declining enrollment in our schools. Communities that are displaced will leave their schools vacant without children to attend their schooling. Parents will be forced to withdraw their children because the safety of their children is not guaranteed. And then the exposure to the torture, violence, and the banditry, the abduction, can lead to psychological trauma that will affect the children, their teachers, their parents, and even community members. And all these problems will have serious effects on academic performance of children. So the performance will drop.
Zainab, you will have 5 more minutes. Thank you.
Okay. And there will be loss of trust in education by parents of these children. In conclusion, therefore, school insecurity requires global cooperation, and that is why we are today collaborating with UIN Saiful Tahat University in our effort to have global cooperation. Because we believe that Nigeria-Indonesia partnership will offer scalable solutions to some of these problems I have mentioned. And the general goal of this collaboration is to see how we can have a safe, inclusive, resilient education system in our country. The key recommendations here is that the problem we are facing in Nigeria of insecurity in our schools requires not just local solutions, but international academic cooperation, where we will learn from our partners on how the school safety is ensured. Then we are going to also, it's recommended that we collaborate in the area of policy research alignment. And then we use interdisciplinary approaches, which will lead to sustained partnership and joint research in our different areas of both universities. Thank you for listening.
So much. Thank you so much, Dr. Zainab, for your time. This is very wonderful. And now it is our turn. So before I start, I already share you the attendance, and if you fill out the form, you will get the e-certificate. So please fill out the form. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning from Kaduna State University. After we hear a very nice presentation from Dr. Zainab about school safety due to the problem that we have in Nigeria, I'm going to discuss the topic that is very similar problem that happened in our country in Indonesia. If you discuss about bullying, if you discuss about abduction, I'm going to discuss about religious discrimination that happened in school in Indonesia. So the title of our presentation is Building Harmony Through Multicultural Education, Addressing Religious Discrimination at School in Indonesia. So in Indonesia, we have a law which is mentioning that school children should be taught religion by teachers of their own faith. And then we also have the constitution that guarantee every student with different backgrounds of ethnic and religions and faces to have the same right and obligation in studying in the public schools. But then the problem is religious discrimination involves treating a person unfavorably because of his or her religious beliefs, unfavorably because of his or her religious beliefs, and according to Seifert, improper actions against religious group more privileges than other groups, stereotyping against religious background. So this is the forms of religious discrimination in Indonesia. We have religious symbols or hijab. We have banning and forcing. Banning. Several schools in Bali Island ban its girl students from wearing hijab during school hours. There were 40 schools in Bali banned hijab for female students. But on the other case, there is also forcing to wear hijab. A state vocational senior high school in Padang, West Sumatra province, ordered all female students to wear a hijab. So there is a contradiction between forcing and banning of wearing the hijab at school. And then religious study teachers. In some place in Indonesia, we are still lacking of non-Muslim teachers. There are a lot of students who are not taught Christianity or religions other than Islam, because the schools do not have non-Islamic teachers. And in Bali, there is also a lack of Islamic religion teachers. Students study Islamic subjects themselves due to the unavailability of Islamic religion teachers. In Bali, Nusa Tenggara Timur, and Papua are the areas where Islamic religion teachers are lacking. So there are some places where they do not have the Islamic teachers, but there are also some places who they do not the Christian teachers. Salary gap. So when you are not teachers in a majority religion at school, you will pay less than your colleague that teach other religion where you are majority. So this is a problem. This is a small problem that Indonesian people they never discuss. But I believe if we do not care about this, it will be a big problem. And also scheduling challenge. Non-Muslim students and teachers need to find a time today to study their religion, because the school does not have provide the day in school course schedule for non-Muslim. And therefore, the study on religious discrimination at school in Indonesia is still lacking. The study is therefore aimed to investigate more on the notion of religious discrimination at schools in a province in Indonesia. So this is what I did. So I did semi-structured interview and I did observation at a school in a province in Indonesia. So I interviewed 10 students and they are all in grade 12. So this is what I found. This is what I find. But before talking about my finding, this is the theoretical framework that I use. I use multiculturalism theoretical framework. So content integration, the knowledge construction process, prejudice reduction, and equity pedagogy, and empowering school culture and school and social structure. So this is what I find from the interview. For example, if we can see here, Felice, he mentioned, I'm the only Christian student in my classroom. I do not know what to do in the class during Islamic studies. Sometimes I just did nothing. Lucy, for example, she said, I sometimes ask myself when I can be like my classmate, learning our religion at our own school during the school hour and have teacher who is located in our school, not in my church. Knowledge construction process, weekly routine Yasinan. Why we should join Yasinan? Why should we join Yasinan? It is supposed to be for Muslim, right? So Yasinan is a reciting of the ayah in Quran, the ayah or Suratul Yasin. But then the non-Muslim student, they are also asked to join the Yasinan celebration. An equity pedagogy. We do not have religious education teacher in our school like our counterparts. My religious subject score is always below my peers. I do not really know why. Perhaps the teachers we have at our church weren't really a teacher, so they do not really know the standard score that's generally used by Islamic education teachers. Johan, grade 12, natural science teachers. So prejudice reduction. Our religion teachers do not get the amount of Islamic studies. As far as I know, our Catholic teachers were not paid by either school or the government. It is the church who sometimes give her the additional incentive. So, in conclusion, after what I find from the school, from interview and my observation, so my study is consistent with previous research. The study found that schools in Indonesia still have problems with inequality issues for religious minority students. So the alternative solution that I offer is number one. The study is therefore suggested for school leaders and teachers to adapt the multicultural education model in order to foster positive school climate for students. And number two, multicultural education is in line with Tasamuh spirit. Tasamuh means tolerance. To accept freedom of religion and expressions mean respect for differences and diversity in religion, cultural perspective, and ethnicity. So, with our partnership between UIN STS Jambi and Kaduna State University, I think we can also conduct another research in the future. Maybe we can do research in Nigerian context, whether or not the religious discrimination is also occur in Nigeria school situation, and whether the discrimination, religious discrimination at school in Nigeria is also similar that I found in Indonesia. Thank you so much for listening, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All right. So we still have another 10 minutes for question and answer. We open the Q&A. Please raise your hand if you have any questions, or you can also send your questions through chat. Any questions from Kaduna State University? Or questions from Jambi, Indonesia? Or if you are not confident to ask question directly, you can type your questions in the chat. Okay, Yesua Ango. Yesua Ango. Please, Yesua Ango.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
I am sorry, I tried to raise my hand, but I could not find the emoji for raising hand.
No
so
problem.
I did.
No
Yes.
problem.
Okay, I have seen it now.
Okay. Yeah, Hajara.
Mine is, yes. My name is Hajara Haruna Yusuf. I'm a lawyer with the Federal Ministry of Justice, prosecutor. And I just want to make an addition or observation. This is a very welcome development, the collaboration between your university and the Kaduna State University. For us here, with what we are facing in Nigeria, especially in northern Nigeria, this is indeed a welcome development. But just like you gave us example in your country regarding certain regions or certain states that have no Islamic religion teachers, and in another region they have no Christian religion teachers. In the case of northern Nigeria especially, this is not the case. I'm trying to make this observation so that both institutions can look into it, and especially you there need to understand that in northern Nigeria, that is predominantly Muslims, we have issues relating to the practice of our religion, Islam. We also have issues like the perception of people regarding the study of the study of Western education. We also have issues relating to poverty, and in recent times, issues relating to insecurity. Now, when I go back to this issue of insecurity, our insecurity situation in northern Nigeria, like I said, is actually multifaceted. There are indications that shows that this insecurity is artificially created in order to destroy the region for the sole purpose of mining our rich mineral resources. So our situation in northern Nigeria, which is now cascading to other parts of the country, is actually more stronger, more serious than I see from your country. Because in your own country is shortages of teachers on both sides of the two religions. But in the case of northern Nigeria, the current situation we are facing is actually an artificially created dangerous insecurity problem in order to destroy the region, in order to mine our rich mineral resources. Don't forget also, like I said earlier, that the practice of Islam in northern Nigeria is somehow, in majority parts of northern Nigeria, is somehow mixed with the culture. It's in recent times, in recent decades, that the people of northern Nigeria began to accept the Western education serious and take it serious. So you see, on one hand, we have the issue of insecurity that is artificially created. On the other hand, also, we have the issue of lack of secular or Western education. So the reason for this is to see how the two institutions can look into this and foster a collaboration along these lines. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments and also the questions. And I do agree that the problem in Nigeria and Indonesia is not the same. And you mentioned that in Nigeria is more serious problem compared to Indonesia. But remember, in Nigerian situation, you are like divided into two parts: southern Nigeria and northern Nigeria, right? But we are also wondering in southern Nigeria, that's predominantly Christians. Will you also have problem with the discrimination that happened for the Muslim student in southern Nigeria, where Muslim is minority in that place? Or is it, and also have the another question for you to also need to answer. Uh, the abduction case in the school, is it caused by the religion? Perhaps maybe if you are Muslim, then the Christian, they will abduct the Islam student, or vice versa, the Islam maybe will abduct the Christian. Is that the problem of the different religion and different beliefs in Nigeria that cause the abduction problem at school?
Okay, let me start with the first question that you asked regarding whether the minority is Muslims in southern Nigeria also face the situation of
Hello, Dr. Dion.
Yes, Dr. Zainab?
Yes, I think when it comes to matters like this,
Mm-hmm.
we are not supposed to prolong our deliberations on it,
Mm-hmm.
because only research can prove what we are talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
So just as you rightly mentioned earlier, that we need to have this collaboration and carry
Sure.
out a study on these issues that we highlighted this morning.
I
So I
agree.
think we shouldn't waste our time deliberating on this. Let us continue from where we have started this morning and see how we can carry out research in that area. Thank you.
That's I agree. So I think we need to close this matter, and we need to conduct collaborative research in this, and we cannot answer this using our opinion. And I do agree with that, Dr. Zainab. Okay. We open for the next question. Muhammad Rimi. Muhammad Rimi, are you here?
Yes, I am here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum salam warahmatullah. And if you can also open your camera so we can see your face.
Okay, okay. I
Oh,
am Muhammad Jamilu Hassan. I am Muhammad Jamilu Hassan from Nigeria.
okay.
I am an alumni of Kaduna State University, and now I am currently studying in Jimber. So my
Are you
questions,
are you in Indonesia?
my question, yes, I am currently in
You can
Indonesia.
speak Indonesia?
Yes, but it's little because I'm just 5 months here.
Oh, 5 months. Yeah. In which university?
When has Jimber?
Unhas.
Yeah.
Winhas Jember.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, my question here is that this collaboration will help maybe Kaduna State University student to study in Jambi.
That's a
This
very,
is my
very
question.
good
My
question.
question.
That's a very good
Let me
question.
repeat it again. Let me repeat it again.
Okay.
This collaboration will help Kaduna State University student to study in Jambi.
I hope so. I hope Mr. Vice Chancellor and also Dr. Zainab, they can send the student from Kaduna State to study in our university. I hope so in the future. So not this year,
Okay,
maybe in the future.
okay, okay,
Yes,
okay. Thank you.
we have that captured on the MOU. We are going to have
Hmm.
staff and student exchange in future, inshallah, in the nearest future.
Okay, okay,
Inshallah.
okay, okay.
Okay, is that your only questions, brother?
Yes, yes. This is my only.
And
Yes.
if you want to come to Jambi, just let me know because Jember and Jambi
Oh,
is not far.
it's not far.
Yeah,
Okay. So
if you
how can I let you know if I wanna come?
sorry,
How can I let you know? Because I think I don't have your number. Aku tidak kamu nomor.
maybe if you have a scholarship from your university and you can use the scholarship to visit us.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Inshallah, I will
insha-
try to do that. Inshallah.
inshallah. Thank you so much, my brother,
Okay,
and please enjoy
okay.
Jember.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Muhammad Rimi. And we open for the next questions. Maybe from Indonesia. We haven't heard a student from Indonesia. Anyone from Indonesia want to ask question about the school abduction and school safety in Nigeria? Mahasiswa Indonesia, adakah yang ingin bertanya? Or maybe one more questions from Nigeria? Or and also I want to make sure that you guys already fill out the attendance. We already sent the attendance. So when you already fill out the forms, so the certificate will automatically send to your email. No more questions. Alhamdulillah. So Dr. Zainab and Professor Abdullahi, we already resume our programs, inshallah. Maybe Professor Abdullahi, do you have anything as your closing statement? Or Dr. Zainab, do you have any closing statement?
We thank God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for technology. That we are able to do this several thousands of kilometers apart, and we are able to exchange ideas and knowledge. What this has shown is that there is opportunity to collaborate, especially for more research that will lead to better collaboration between our two institutions. I also saw clearly the issue of staff or student exchange, which is also part of uh, our agreed collaboration. And I think in that regard, we can also take advantage of technology in some aspects to actually, get our faculty members to lecture students either way, taking advantage of land management systems, virtual land platforms, in addition, of course, to opportunities where available for physical interaction. We look forward to the continuation of this relation. Thank you very much.
Professor Abdullahi, Dr. Zainab, do you have anything to deliver as the closing statement?
My Vice Chancellor has concluded it, so I'm okay with it. Thank you.
So Alhamdulillah, we already conclude our MOU signing ceremony and also the international webinar. As our rector mentioned today, that this is not the beginning and this is not the last, and we are waiting for the next programs. We are waiting for the another activities that we can run. Okay, so our rector has just mentioned, if Kaduna State, you can send one student to study in Jambi, preferably male, so our campus will give a free tuition fee and free housing. So if you can send one student to study in our university, we will give you tuition free. So it's like scholarship. You don't need to pay the tuition, and we will also give you free housing for one student. Yes, Vice Chancellor. Yes, Dr. Zainab, can you echo what Vice Chancellor mentioned, because we cannot hear clearly? Can you please repeat what Vice Chancellor said, because we cannot hear
Yeah,
clearly?
what my Vice Chancellor said is that he thanked you initially, he appreciates your gesture, and then he promised to get back to Gembi as soon as the student is identified through Dr. Zainab Yusuf.
All right, thank you so much. And after this,
Thank you
we
for the
can.
gesture, sincerely.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, attendees, Vice Chancellor, our rector, and also all invite participants for our today's agenda. Once again, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys to come and attend this webinar. And once again, we are hoping that we can follow up with other activities, not from university side, but also from colleges, from other faculty, maybe to Faculty of Dawah, maybe Faculty of Sharia, or Faculty of Usuluddin, or Economy, and also Adab, and also Science and Technology, and also Education. We are looking forward for other fruitful cooperation. Thank you so much, and wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.